Welcome to day one of NaNoWriMo, November 1st, 2020. I'd like to first give you an update on personal life. My grandfather passed away this past Monday, so this past week has been filled with funeral arrangements and all that stuff, so I'm slightly behind schedule, but we'll manage. I wanted to start out by talking about the three-act structure. A lot of people like to use this structure, and there are multiple plot structures out there, so just basically pick the one you like best and use it. I've noticed many things seem to fall on a spectrum of one side or another. There's a pantser and plotter spectrum, which basically a pantser, or according to George R.R. Martin, is a gardener or a discovery writer, or there's numerous terms for it. But that's basically somebody that just starts out with a core concept and they just write the story from start to finish with no planning, no outline, no preparation of any kind. And then you have the plotter side, which that's the person who wants to plan out every single detail, and they're basically going to know what happens before they ever write the first word. There is no right or wrong way, depending on which way you want to do this. All of us tend to fall on this spectrum somewhere or another. I am midway slightly toward the pantser side. I've had some books where I wrote start to finish without a single thought put into them prior to the actual writing. And then I've had other books where I just can't seem to focus unless I have every detail planned out. Anymore, I like to do a bare bones skeleton, where I know where the end of the story is. I know a few key details in between, and then I figure out where the beginning is. And once I have that, I just basically bridge my gaps and get the story written. So you can do this however you want. I tend to do a 3-act style of bare bones. But, that's something you guys can research to figure out what works best for you or what type of story you're wanting. Additionally, with NaNoWriMo, I told you I was going to write this book, start to finish, during this month. I have not done a whole lot of preparation into it. Anytime that I tried to, I recorded whatever it was I was doing so I can share it with you guys. A while back, I created a outline to help me just get my stuff where I needed it to go. What I did was, it was actually a compilation of a lot of query letters, like what you would send to a traditional publisher so they know kind of what your book's going to be about before they say yes or no on it. I took a bunch of these and I found the key elements between all of them, and I mixed it all together and I made my own query letter / outline template. So I'm going to include that as a download for you guys if you want to use it. You are by no means expected to. It's just simply another tool to add to your arsenal. But we will go through some of that. At the beginning, you'll see that it's mostly metadata information, the stuff that goes into the back-end marketing on how to sell the book or get it in front of the right people. And then as you go further down, it gets into more of the 3-act outline structure. For this story, I'm aiming for more the Disney Channel after-school special, like back in the 90s. You get home from school, you turn on the Disney Channel, and you get a feel-good teen or tween movie. That's kind of the feel I want with this book. Basically, I'm going to have my main character, Aaron. He's 12 years old, getting ready to turn 13. Life is great. He's got his friends and he's real excited about his birthday. What he doesn't realize is that on the night of his birthday, whenever he's getting ready to have his party, his parents have to leave town last minute and everything he had planned for is just gone. He ends up having to stay home. His elderly grandfather, who he finds a little off, comes to watch him, and just being a kid, there's going to be the sneaking out and, just trying to make the best of his failed birthday. But what he doesn't know is he comes from a long line of magically inclined people, and his grandfather is a retired wizard. So Aaron is going to sneak out, get into trouble. He's going to discover that he is in danger. This is the one night he's vulnerable in that transitional period. And, his grandfather's going to have to try to teach him how to protect himself. And, overall, there's not a whole lot to it yet. We're going to, as this series goes along, we're going to flesh it out a little bit more and get things where they need to be. Part of coming up with these stories is having a good support team. There are times where I struggle to figure out how to connect the dots. So when that happens, I have 3 to 4 different people that I can call up at any time, and we can, with this particular story, my friend George and I, we talked about 4 to 5 different stories to write here, and he would throw world building ideas at me. I would think about them. Most of them I didn't really mesh well with, but when we got to this concept, it was one that seemed like it would be fun to do. So, that's another thing that, you guys don't be afraid to talk to. Don't be afraid to talk to the people that support what you're doing. They may not always give the greatest advice, and you don't always have to take that advice, but it is a valuable resource, especially when you get further in and are trying to do stuff different than you've done before. Anyway, I think that is long enough for this video. I will let you guys go. We will discuss a little bit more about the plot and what's going to happen tomorrow, as well as, what I have managed to write between today and tomorrow. Anyway, have a good night, and we'll see you guys next time.